Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, I wanted to talk about the 10 biggest money wasting categories. So let's get to it. Okay, so let's talk about plugging the leaks in our budget. What are the biggest areas that people are spending money in that you might also be as well, that you can cut to help you to save more money? Because a lot of times we think about income, and I certainly do. I'm always thinking about what kind of side hustle can I do? What extra products can I sell in my Etsy shop? So I'm always trying to add more income, more income, more income. But often it's not really the income that might be the problem. Of course, extra income always helps, but it could be that you are overspending in some categories that maybe you don't need to be, and that would really help you to save money and to make ends meet a little bit easier if you were to cut those out. So let's get to it. The top 10. So number one is gambling or the lottery. And I recently saw, the kids and I were at Wawa, and they saw the lottery machine with the gopher in Pennsylvania here, and they were like, "Oh my God, the lottery's $1.1 billion, Mom, let's buy tickets." And so I understand it's tempting, wow, it's fun to dream. Like, what if we won $1 billion? And somebody always does win, but statistically, it is extremely unlikely that you are going to win. And you basically are just, I told the kids, it's like, well, if we want to tear up $10, fine. But, because you're basically tearing up money. And that $10 or however much money you spend on lottery tickets, that money you could be investing or saving, and it would make you, it's like, that's your money. So do you really want to be throwing it away? So I was shocked that the average lottery player spends $500 per year chasing these slim odds. So if you are purchasing lottery tickets, you might want to think about what else you could be doing with that money other than gambling with it. Next is alcohol. Yeah, so if you are purchasing wine bottles, a $12 or whatever wine bottles cost, I don't really know, but if you're going out with friends and you're getting a cocktail, that cocktail, that's money. And it's obviously something that a lot of people are doing, but is it really the best thing for your health? A lot of studies say no. And so it might be best to skip that drink, or to maybe take a year off from having any kind of alcohol whatsoever, and see what kind of money you can save. Next is credit card interest. So if you are carrying a balance from month to month, if you have a large credit card balance that you're trying to pay off, of course, trying to get that debt paid off as fast as possible is going to help you. But if you have a balance and you typically do pay it off every month, and then you're kind of getting sloppy with it and you're letting it carry over to the next month, that is interest that you are just basically, that's your money that you're just giving away just because you've been kind of sloppy and didn't think about paying your bill on time. So try to avoid credit card interest at all costs if you can, because that is certainly money that you could be using elsewhere. And let me say too, if you're having trouble paying off your credit card and you're in the process of paying down your debt, you might want to look into trying to see if you could transfer it to a 0% card for a certain amount of time. The best thing to do is try to get it out of your life as fast as possible. But in our past, we did do that. We transferred to 0%, and then we kept an eye on it, kept paying it, and then I would transfer it to another 0%. I played that game when we were trying to pay everything off. Cigarettes, they average $8 to $10 a pack. So obviously this is an addiction that is very hard to break, and I definitely feel for anyone who is struggling with it. But if you can reduce the amount of spending that you are doing for cigarettes, that obviously is a lot of money that could be going elsewhere, and not to mention the impact to your health. So let's see, if you smoke a pack a day, that's more than $3,000 a year, and over a decade, that's $30,000 of money. $30,000 that you could be doing something with other than smoking it away. Summer electric bills, they can be brutal. We just had our electric bill and it was really high, double the price of what it usually is. And this is due to air conditioning. So I prefer not putting on the air conditioning too much. I sort of like to feel the heat, and even though my husband can't stand it, I feel like it's sort of somewhat nice to just be, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of healthy in a way to sort of feel the environment. But air conditioning, if you have window units or however you're heating, or try to think about where your thermostat is and can you sort of live with it a little bit cooler or hotter, depending. I mean, you don't want anyone to be really cold, of course, but or super hot where it's a health risk. But if you think about your electricity or your energy cost, is there a way that you can kind of like reduce that? Also, if you're leaving your air conditioning on when you're not even home during the day, certainly you don't want to be doing that. So small tweaks with that: programmable thermostats, fans, and sealing any drafts if you can in your home around your windows. Try to look into doing that. Some of those little cute cozy things you can put under the door. What are those called? You know what I'm talking about. They're like, can be really cute, and you can stick those in doorways and help to reduce those drafts. Eating out. We all know this. Eating out. The more you eat out, the more you're going to spend. Try eating at home. Maybe make it a challenge for yourself for a year to try not to buy any outside food anywhere, even convenience places or restaurants. According to some studies, average household spends over $3,000 a year eating away from home. That's a pretty good chunk of change. Subscriptions that you don't use. Back to subscriptions. We're always talking about subscriptions. Audit your account and make sure that you are not paying for a subscription that you are not using. I've recently discovered that we had one we've been paying for a year and no one was using it. We weren't even signed into it on our TV. So make sure you don't have any streaming services or any subscriptions that you have signed up for on your phone or wherever, and make sure that, make sure you're using everything that you are paying for. Or if you have a gym membership and you never go, then see if you can pause that gym membership. And if you don't want to cancel it, a lot of times they will let you pause it and then you can reactivate it if you're going to come back in and start using the gym. But certainly try not to be paying for things that you are not using, because that's a big money suck. And of course, they love it when you forget and you just continue paying. Of course, they're not going to necessarily remind you, hey, you've got this membership or this subscription and we notice you haven't been using it. They're not going to tell you. So you have to try to audit your account and see what is coming out, and look at it. Just look at it. Name brand groceries or name brand clothes. There's a lot of generic products that are just exactly the same as the name brand, and they're a fraction of the cost. So try to be aware when you're purchasing things. Are you just grabbing it because of name recognition? Obviously, marketers do a fantastic job of making us feel like we need the name brand item, and it's sort of almost subconscious. So be aware of what you are purchasing. A lot of times generic is just as good, if not better sometimes, than the name brand. Convenience fees and late fees. Okay, so if you're using ATM machines, make sure that you're not being charged by your bank to use machines outside of what you're allowed to be using. So any kind of late bills, late fees, because you're not paying your bill on time. Again, trying to be aware of when things are due and paying them on time so you don't end up paying money for fees that you could have avoided. I recently just did that. So every single year, the kids' yearbooks go on sale. They have like a pre-sale where the yearbook is $65. And if you buy it by a certain date, that's what it is. If you buy it past that date, because you're lazy or you're just procrastinating, it's $100 for this yearbook for the high school. And so finally this year I was like, I gotta get this yearbook ordered, so I just ordered it today. So it's now been ordered because that saves me money. That's some money there that I had been paying the higher fee just because I was not getting to it on time. So make sure you order things, like if you know you're gonna order it, you wanna take advantage of pre-sales if you can. Okay, and then this category is impulse shopping. If you just walk through Target, I try to avoid stores at all costs because every single time I go into a store, I always end up buying something that I did not walk in there to buy. It's really hard to not, because you see something end cap items, near the register, and you're like, oh, I need this or whatever, and like, yeah, maybe you need it, but you probably didn't go in there for it, and you probably don't need it that bad because you weren't even thinking about that product before you went into the store. So try to avoid impulse shopping. Try to do a 24-hour, pause period where if you wait a little bit before you actually buy it, because impulse shopping can really kill you. It can really get you if you're not careful. Okay, as a bonus one here, I think this is number 11, unreturned items. This is a category Like we might order something from Amazon and clothes or something and it doesn't fit, or I'm like, oh, this isn't really what I wanted. And my husband is fantastic at this. He is so like, he's like the king of returning. He has no shame. He's even like opened packages and he takes it back and he's like, this isn't right. And that he gets them to give him store credit or return it. He is so good at it, way better than I am. But if you forget to return stuff that you aren't using or doesn't fit, again, that's money. You want to get that money back. So maybe have like a basket near your door or a bag that kind of helps to force you to like put those items there and actually return them if you're not going to be using them. Take them back to the store. My husband even does this with food. Like he bring home a box of cereal and then like, like no one's eating it. It's like a week later. He's like, nobody wants the cereal. I'm taking it back to the grocery store. So he returns it and they take it. It's not expired. We didn't open it. It's unopened cereal. But like, so if it's something that you're not going to eat or wear or use, try to return it and get that money back. Okay, so those are some categories that are big money wasters. So let me know if you find yourself doing something from one of those categories, or if you have another category of a money waster that I did not mention. I would love to hear it. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.